All right, everyone. Round one of the Nexus Intergalactic Open is done, and we're going to take some time. We're going to review the results. There's a lot to cover, so what I want to do is I want to talk about. We had some predictions, me and Ryan. It's just going to be me today, but we had some predictions last week, and we're going to look at who won, and kind of just do a little post round one analysis, and then I'm going to be talking about some of the round two matchups. So just going in here, one of the things to keep in mind here is that we do have two people, that's Adam Schultz and Jesse Willardson, I believe. They didn't get a chance to play, and they were supposed to play, but life came up the last moment. So what I did is that I've given them a temporary loss, both of them, and I've said if you can play each other again before in the next couple of weeks, then you will be able to get a win based on that. But now that's going to mean they're going to have to both play their normal game and another one. So that's sort of what I've had to do. We did have a couple more. I think it was one more who had to do a sub, but they played a sub and they won. So that's generally what I'll say is that if you do set up a game with your opponent, but hey, something happens last minute, I'll do that again where I'll give you both a loss, but I'll allow you time to play. Now, on week 3, I won't be able to do that because we're sort of ending the tournament after that week. So just keep that in mind. That's why we have a temporary loss here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the round 1 matchups, and I think that I didn't get a chance to catch. I watched, and I'll post it in the link in the description. I know that Taylor, LeBlonde, and I believe it's one other one. I'll post them in there. I did collect some of the YouTube channels, so I'll post the links. In one of them, Taylor LeBlonde was, I think, was Twitch, and then I know Warboss Fitz posted his live stream. I've watched a little of those, but I haven't got a chance to catch the entire one. So just keep that in mind. I know there was one other one, and I'll post the link in the description for him too. He has a YouTube channel. Hey, if you can go subscribe to the YouTube channels and the Twitch channels that I posted. Really appreciate that. Just a few things to keep in mind that I would love to try to do a little analysis of the games being played, but I really just can't commit to it. So I've been trying to, when I can, just stop into the games. But hey, we've got some. If you want to go on the Discord, we do have some Nexus open channels, and people plan them out, and so you can catch some of these games being played through TTS. So thanks everyone for all your support. I appreciate some of my Discord members who've also been helping with the maps. So just again, Discord community, thank you guys so much for all that you're doing to help this tournament, in addition to just playing it. So just big thank you so much. So let's look at this round 1 matchup here. This first one this first Rat Run didn't get played. So that's just Adam Schultz and Jesse Willardson. They didn't get a chance to play. Let's look at the next one. So this one was Daniel Beckus and Leonardo Baros. So these two played. Now, Leonardo won, and Daniel lost here. I think we predicted that, but from what I've understood, this game was a lot closer. So, it's really showing you the power of Prime Brothers, that I think this wasn't a good matchup for Daniel. But from what I understood, he could have won, and I think he was telling me, he's a local Austin guy, that he could have won if he got a little bloodthirsty. So I think that's great. Really shows you the power of Prime Brothers, that they can, even if it's not a great matchup, you still can really do well with them. So I think that's really good. But we did predict the big and strong. This is a really nice Alien Hives list. I see it doing well in the future. So we'll go through this one. This one's pretty straightforward. So that one was relatively straightforward. I think we predicted that one. The next one on the list for the round matchups was, let me go pull these over here. Okay, the next one was Gary Vienna and Taylor LeBlonde. Now, this is actually posted on Taylor's Twitch channel, and I'll post the link in the description. I really want to know how this game went, because on paper, I really liked Taylor's list. I think Taylor's list was sort of a straightforward, just really solid list. But we talked about this. Gary Vienna's list was sort of what I called, me and Ryan, we called the hammer versus the scalpel. And I think in this particular one, Gary Vienna may be a really good player because he seemed to win it in this list. So I think Gary's list, he seems to be a really good player. I'd love to catch this and see what happened, but this may be a list to watch out for. It seems that not only is this a little better than maybe we expected, but I think that maybe Gary is running this list pretty well as well. So and the thing about this list for Gary, so I think that, Taylor's list is like, it's just a really straightforward, great list, sort of like a hammer. But Gary's lists, we did talk about this, that it has a lot of shenanigans. There's a lot of movement. There's really happening here. He's got a lot of smaller squads, so it's going to be really interesting to see how I'll have to look at the round 2 matchups. But Gary's list may be something to watch out for, and I think with all these pheromones going on, this may be a list to watch out for. So that was definitely an upset, at least from me and Ryan's perspective. So next we have Craig Burton's Machine Cult versus Jason West's War Demons. And I know that Jason West took this game. Didn't get a chance to see the game, but, Jason's list, I'd love to find out how this game would. I thought that Craig's list, his Machine Cult's list, would have done pretty well. So, but then again, it doesn't have a lot of high AP. Jason's list is very one-sided. It's it's a list that is really built one specific way, and it's definitely a powerful list. Like I said, I'd love to maybe post-match sort of find out what happened here. Like I said, it is a fast list. He is ambushing here, but it's not. I was figuring this Machine Cult list would do better. So that's another upset. I think that it's funny. I think of the predictions, I think we lost more. We lost more than we gained. So it shows you a lot, that a lot of these games we said were close. And I think a lot of these games, from what I understood, came down to just how well the games were being played, which I think is a great thing. I love that, we can make predictions, but it's really going to come down to who's a better general. So definitely, Jason, it's a good list, and I think that I'd love to kind of see how well this Wormhole Demons of War does in the future. I still think that this Machine Cult list is really good, and maybe I can find out a little later on about what happened in this game. But yeah, so that's another one we got wrong. I was actually predicting this Machine Cult list to win. So, but there you go. So that's Jason. Match 5 was Alex Sawyer and Thomas Creek. So I think it was Thomas that took the win on this one. Let me just check. Yeah, Thomas won. And it's, boy, this is another one I think we got wrong. And this is another list that I think that Thomas was sort of the underdog here. Although I was saying that this list had a lot of bodies into it. So this was actually another prediction that we got wrong. Thomas lists won. I think that he must have maybe, I don't know, I'd love to kind of find out what happened here too. Alex Sawyer's, this is a really good Saurian list. A lot of really Def 2 and Def 3, which you would think would be a hard counter, but I guess it's just and this shows you just volume of attacks, an absolute ton of hits, and with the overload, and then again you're buffing them up, you're casting the +3 to hit ecstasy. So there you go. That's another one we got wrong. Thomas Creek, this Lust Demons. I'd love to see how this does. I want to know what happens if this is going to go up against maybe one of the alien hives. So we'll see what happens. I set up the round 2 matchups, but I forgot them in this moment. So we'll see who his round 2 matchup is. But again, that's another thing we got wrong. Let's go to match 6. Match 6 is Diego versus Solomon. Both of these are actually redesigns, and I think Blight Disciples took the win on here, correct? Blight Disciples won. Again, I think another really close matchup. Both of these are my redesigns. I think both of these armies are very good. Blight Disciples, I forgot who we predicted here, but I do feel Blight Disciples, they definitely felt they had a bit of an advantage here, but I thought that Diego's list is still really good. But the Blight Disciple list is really solid. The Undead Zombies, I think, are just really good for objective holders. That's basically 30 wounds that are just undead, as well as just having a lot of... he's got a lot of Reap in the army, and Reap, if you roll ones, that can be very punishing. So it's a really tough list, too. I guess I could see that Solomon's Blight Disciples had a bit of an advantage here. I don't remember what we predicted on this, but this was definitely, we imagined, to be a close game. So Solomon took the win over there against those two redesigns against each other. Diego was the Battle Brothers. I apologize. He was the Battle Brothers. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of another game. Sorry, this is the Battle Brothers list. And I can see how the Blight Disciples would win, especially with a lot of that Reap going on in the army. I'm guessing that maybe Diego rolled some ones. And the thing of this is, every one you roll was very punishing. So I could see that. But I can see how Solomon's list won. It's a little less, Diego's list is a little more MSU, but still, I imagine it to be a really close game. Yeah, I think we had Solomon for that one, though. All right, the next one was a really surprising one for me, was Ryan versus Stefano. Now, I had predicted Stefano was going to win this game. I really like Stefano's list. I've played Dark Brothers before, and this is a competitive redesign here that I thought could do well. But the thing is that you're right. You've got a lot of bodies. This is the redesign. This is Human Defense Force redesign, and it does have a lot of bodies. The Caster 3's in there. He's got Caster. So I really thought that Stefano's is going to be better, but I'm guessing that Ryan did win. I'm just going to make sure. Ryan won. Yeah, I was pretty sure about that. Yeah, this was a surprise to me. I thought that Steven had this game. So there you go. It's another surprise. And I think it's also the Super Heavy probably did a lot of work. That Super Heavy, especially if you can buff it up, is going to be dropping a truckload of shooting. And even with AP1, and I think he's got... How many caster does he have in this army? He had caster 6? Just caster 6. But I think he was casting maybe the +1 AP, if I'm remembering. Maybe he's getting the +2 AP off, +1 to hit. So if he's buffing these... I think he's got take aim as well. I'm guessing he was just basically doing the take aim and doing all the casters to buff up this Super Heavy, and then just to shoot a whole bunch of truckloads of stuff for like AP3, hitting on 2s. So if that's the case, then that Super Heavy tank probably carried the day. And my guess is that he had enough chaff to just sort of withstand that initial drop, and then his Super Heavy just probably opened up on them. Yeah, so there you go. And I think Ryan's list probably just won through numbers. There you go. I still like Stefano's list a lot. It may have just gotten into a bad matchup. Yeah, all right. Let's look at... so these are 2 redesigns as well. This is Stephen Walter's Lust Disciples, my redesign. And I feel like... I'll be honest with you. Some of these redesigns, I definitely think I should tamper down some of them. But I think I don't know if I should, but I know Lust Disciples are really good. And when I saw his list, this is a nasty list. The Dow redesign, I think, is super solid. I do think that the Warning Cry, I think that Josh is going to do better. This was probably his one bad matchup because he has all this Warning Cry that's going to kind of shut down. Like, this is all ambush, but it's also ambush with fast and flying too. This is I mean, Steven's list is really nasty. And, like I said, I'm still tweaking some of these redesigns, and, it's definitely making me look twice about whether I created a monster out of Lust Disciples, but it's good. I still think that Josh is going to do well in this tournament. I like all the warning cry. I just think that maybe the ambush and fast is just a really powerful combination here. And yeah, I'm just going to make sure that Joshua took the win there. Okay. The last round one matchup was again a surprise to me, and that was I was not predicting War Boss Fitz to win here, and I want to watch. I've watched a little of this. He's actually posted his YouTube, and I want to watch it more. I'm really interested. I want to see how he won, because I think for me this is a redesign. This is another HTF of my redesign. I really like this list. This is a really solid list. I think he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's got the single guys. He's got the conscripts. He's doing that. He's got the caster. He's got the ogres. Maybe it was the. Is this the list with the flyers in here? I'm thinking of something else. Isn't this the list with the? I'm just gonna check. Yeah, I don't honestly know, but I do know that War Boss won. So there you go. This was the biggest surprise to me. Well, one of them. And to be honest, this shows you what analysis means. Me and Ryan got more things wrong than we did right. So this is another upset in my book. So kudos to War Boss Fitz for winning. So let's go into round 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at round 2, and I set these, but I also forgot. And so now let's look at round 2 matchups here. And just keep in mind that although I am going to do some predictions, I was mostly wrong last week. So if I don't think that you're going to win, don't take it personal, because as I've shown, I'm generally, I think most of my predictions were wrong. So the first one is going to be Leonardo's Alien Hives. This is the big guy versus Lust Demons. So, okay. Now, this, I feel, is something that I was talking. I think that I'm going to predict that Leonardo is going to win this. I think that these Lust Demons just don't have the AP to really deal with a lot of the Armor 2 and Armor 3. I said that, of course, last time against the Saurian list, but I guess I'm saying it again. Now, I do think that that Artillery Beast for Leonardo isn't going to do a lot of good, except maybe taking out those Sacred Mirrors. So I think that's what he's going to do is that he's going to shoot. And well, actually, that's going to be pretty bad, because those Sacred Mirrors are actually kind of pivotal to the army. So actually, I think that's actually pretty bad as well. Thomas is going to... I would guess he's trying to hide these Sacred Mirrors, but actually, that's probably just a hard counter. Now that I look at it, that is just a hard counter. He's just going to just shoot those Sacred Mirrors. One. Yeah, so I am going to predict that this is a bad matchup for Thomas. But then again, Thomas... He proved me wrong once. Maybe he'll prove me wrong again. I do think that Leonardo's list is just very solid. Even the Devourer Beasts is really good with Sniper. So even that Harbinger of Lust is going to have some problems. I don't know. We will see, but I don't see... I think I'm going to have to go with Leonardo here. But then again, one thing I will say, Thomas Creek has bodies. And one of the things that Thomas may win this game is by basically clearing out the chaff. And if he can basically effectively just immobilize that Hive Lord and Devourer Beast, he may just win through sheer numbers. This is a progressive scoring. One thing we have to keep in mind is that the second scenario is progressive scoring. So, Lust Demons may be able to get... Actually, Maybe the Lust Demons get on the objectives early and they just sort of throw bodies at the alien hives. So actually, maybe Thomas Creek may win purely because of the scenario. I forgot that this scenario is based off progressive scoring. So, with that being the case, maybe Thomas Creek will win again. Let me think about that now. Okay, now see, with progressive, I have to think about this because one of the things that we can't always forget, Thomas Creek has 120, and all he really needs to get is get that power off twice. And he honestly may even not even need to kill everything. I mean, if he can kill if he can maybe kill the high, he doesn't need to kill a lot. Man, this is going to be a really close match. Actually, the more I look at it, I may actually give this to Thomas Creek. Now, with the progressive scoring and the sheer amount of bodies that Thomas can drop, and he's going to drop them on the objectives, and he's basically going to be like, kill enough things. And actually, it's interesting. Yeah, I'm actually going to go for Thomas on this one. I forgot about progressive scoring. And I think the first 2 rounds, the Thomas Creek is probably going to be able to rack up enough points. Because that artillery beast, yeah, it can kill the sacred mirrors, but the Devourer, there's a lot of deadly in this army. The Hive Guardians are going to do really bad. The Hive Lord will take out a unit a turn, but then again, that's only 4 units. So at most, that Hive Lord's going to kill 4 units. The Sacred Mirrors, let's say, are going to die. With progressive scoring, I'll give this to Thomas. I'm going to believe. Thomas, you proved me wrong once. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with you, Thomas. All right. Round 1. Gary Vienna. And I say this, by the way, my predictions maybe just be the kiss of death. I mean, as I've said, for all I know, if you actually may want me to not predict you, because if anything, I seem to be getting all this wrong here. So let's go into another one here. This is Gary Vienna's. I talked about this list. This list is a scalpel. Gary seems to be able to be playing this list very well. And so what do we have here? We've got Gary's list. Again, he's got those assault guns with no retreat. He's got these veteran warriors with shooter grunts that have a lot of pheromones. So he's got these 3 veteran warriors. Then he's got these 2 snatcher lords that are in with these soul snatchers. I really need to see what Gary does, because on paper, this Gary's list does not look great, if I'm being honest. It doesn't look great, but he seems to be doing very well with it. So going to Joshua's list. Now, the one thing, Joshua has got tons of warning cry. The problem is that none of that matters. This is surprising. Gary's list has basically no ambush. Now, that's not a big deal, but the warning cry isn't really going to come into effect here. For Joshua's list, he's got... So let me see here. He's got the transports. This is going to be really close, because actually Gary's list is sort of shooting heavy. Now, he's got the Soul Snatchers, but those Soul Snatchers are just 5 minutes. Gary's list is just killing me here, man, because he must really, and I need to watch this game, or I need to see, because he is, on paper, this army doesn't look too good to me. But he beat Taylor's list. But the Dow list is a shooting list, and I actually think that's where Gary's list is going to suffer, against a shooting list. And this Dow list, it did do pretty well. I'm going to make sure this is in the winner. Jason won, right? Just to make sure. Joshua Yates. Am I on the right one? Yeah. That's him. I'm just making sure. Boy, okay, who am I giving this to here? I am going to give this game to Joshua. Boy, it's a hard one. Let me just see here what we got. The hover tank. I need to look at this list because this is going to be hard. He's got a lot of tribesmen, and those hit pretty decently. Let me think. Those battle suits with those flamers are going to do so well. The snipers, too. He's got those snipers on those. Oh, these veteran warriors are only tough 3. Is he going to start just sniping down these? Oh, that's going to be nasty for Gary to deal with. Just those spotter squads are going to be money. And he doesn't have a lot of high AP. And he can be sniping down those Snatcher Lords or those veteran warriors. Boy. Huh. He's got advanced tactics. The tribesmen are going to do decent. The blasts, boy, this is hard for me to. Oh man, I'm sorry, I'm just struggling. I think the battle suits are really going to win the day with a lot of blast. That blast is going to do so well. Oh, that blast is just going to murder things. He's got shield drone, which I believe is that just stealth? Just to make sure it is just stealth, but it's not going to matter. I'm going to go for Joshua. Gary, I don't know. I think that Gary is going to have a hard time. I think the spotter squads are going to be money. They're 30-inch range. If Josh is smart, he's going to take out some of those key units. Now, the shooters also have sniper, but they're just 18-inch range. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I don't think that Gary's list has a lot of high AP. So those hover tanks are going to do him really solid. He's got the inhibitor drone as well. I'm going to go for Joshua on this one. But Gary has proved me wrong once. I'm not going to underestimate him. All right, let's look at another matchup that is very interesting. This is Warboss Fitz. This was a challenge. So Jason challenged, and I'm okay with it. Jason challenged Warboss Fitz, his orcs, shooty orcs, against war demons. Now, so what does Warboss have? He does have some he's got these 4 trikes with shooty. The thing that Warboss okay. Demons are always going to be an advantage in this scenario because they're basically progressive scoring. They're going to be able to just scout and everything out. And that actually may give an advantage to Gary's list. Now that I think about it, Gary's list does have a ton of scout, but I'm still going to go with Joshua because I already said that. But, I predicted Warboss Fitz wasn't going to win his first game. I don't hate this matchup with Warboss lists. Yes, that Avatar of War is going to eat a unit a turn, and the Deadly doesn't help. So he's got the Deadly there, and that's good. I really got to think about this. Jason's list is just so wonky. It's such a wonky list. The Bloodhounds are going to get shot off the board turn 1. There's a lot of shooting coming out from Warboss. I know in Warboss they played it. If they play advanced actions, I'm definitely going to give this to Warboss. Warboss, if you are playing with the assault action, Warboss lists is just so good because you can shoot and then charge. You don't care about the -1 because you're hitting on 6s and exploding on 6s anyway. So advanced actions, I'm definitely giving this to Warboss. Let me think. 1, 2, 3. Got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 9 activations, I believe. The thing is that with War Boss's thing is that it's really going to come down to whether the War Boss can hit those 4-ups. Because he's definitely going to win combat when he charges the Jason. But if War Boss can hit a couple of pivotal 4+s and not shake or lose some units, War Boss has got it. Let me think. I think Jason's got this because he's going to land on the objectives early, and then he's going to sort of force War Boss to come at him. Yeah, boy. War Boss doesn't have a lot of AP. These trikes with these rocket launchers are going to have to do a lot of work right here. Hitting on 5, 6s explode. That is 8 shots. He could start whittling down some of the smaller ones. These avatars of war. Boy, this is going to be a super close game. A super close game that I am going to give it to... I'm going to give it to War Boss, you know? War Boss is a cool guy. And he proved me wrong before, so War Boss, I think you got this. All right, we're going to Ryan versus Solomon. So this is the Blight Disciples list, which I like a lot. This is the redesign. So this is a redesign here, and Ryan's list has the super heavy tank. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, that's right. This is the one with the gunships. That's right. I forgot about this. The gunships. Oh boy. I'm going to have to give this one to Ryan. I think this is not the list that Solomon wants to go up against. A ton of people. Yeah, boy. This Ryan list is so crazy good. I think that Solomon's list is solid. He does have these blight zombies here, but they're slow. That's really going to hurt him this game. He wants these guys. This game is going to be... And the thing is that this super heavy is just rocking in this mid-range. It's just going to stand still. The blasts, these gunships are going to be dropping off the ogres. Boy. Man. No caster, I don't think. Oh, he's only got caster 3. No, he's got the blight tank. What does this do? It's only blast. Yeah, boy. This is going to be a really close one. Oh, he's got some ambush as well. So I think the ambush... He doesn't have a lot of scout. But he does have the turn... He does have 2 gunships that can drop ogre squads. So that's a good turn 1 contestation where he's going to drop these ogre squads. He's basically going to beam them down on the objective. I'm going to go for Ryan. This Ryan was really solid. And he's going to have time. He's going to have time to get his caster off, his take aim, and he's just going to buff up this super heavy tank. And this thing is going to shoot umpteen billion shots on AP3. Solomon, he does have unwavering, but he's got a lot of def 3, so it's going to be 5s or so and 6s. He does have regen. I mean, man, he's got these Blight Brothers are going to be really solid, though. Blight Boys are going to be really solid. The Greater Mutated, only def 4. This is going to be a close one. Boy, this is going to be a really close one here. I'd love to watch this game. This is going to be a super close one. I'm going to go for Ryan's list because I think he's got the bodies. He really has got the bodies. He's doing what you need to do. He's also got the company standard, so he's handing out some morale buffs. He's got a field doctor, so he's going to be handing out. They don't have, that's the thing, the Blight Disciples are trading a lot of their reap instead of poison, so that regen's going to do him good. Yeah, I'm going to go for Ryan on this one. I think that Ryan, that's a good HDF list. I would build HDF similar to them. All right, the next one is Alex versus Diego. So Diego's Battle Brothers versus the Starian Sorrow. So I really like this Saurian list. I think it's really solid. I was really surprised it didn't win. I think it lost the last game. So, I still like Alex's list. Diego's list is good. You know, one thing's those attack walkers. Oh man, he's got this angular source with deadly 6. Man, if that thing hits, that's pretty nasty. I don't know that Diego has anything. Does he have anything to deal with his Def 2 guys? Does he have any deadly or high AP weapons? He's got a Walker Fist, I guess, with the Storm Rifle. Don't love it. The Walkers maybe can do work. Oh, he's got a Fusion Rifle on these, but just one of them. Yeah, Diego's list is going to really struggle against some of these really high, and this Ankylosaurus is just going to walk up and just start standing there. It's got Def 2 with Heavy Shield. I don't know how he's going to deal with that. There's an advanced tactics, but I don't see any scout on either side or ambush. Am I wrong on that? Pathfinders they don't have scout. He didn't get them that. Medical training. The Flamers just are not going to do good. I'm going to go for Alex's. I think this is a really good Saurian list. I'm going to predict Alex on this one. So next one we have is Adrian and Steven. So we didn't get a chance to see Adrian. I'm hoping he's going to get a chance to play his game. Hey, things happen. I like his list. I mean, Adrian has a very solid Alien Hives list. I think it's great. I think it's a meta list. I think it's similar to Taylor's. It's just what you bring. The 4 Soul Snatchers, 5 minutes are really interesting. That's a lot of scout. He's got scout. So scout is going to be key in this. Oh, he's got so much scout. Boy. So this is the problem, I think, with Steven's list. It's an ambush. So this is the real problem that I think that running an all ambush army, he's now facing sort of a hard counter. Because all he's got is these cultists and these mages. They're not going to grab any objectives. And none of these 3 units, these 6 units, they are not getting the objectives. So what Steven is giving, he's giving 2 turns of point scoring to Adrian. And remember, yes, they're going to come down and they're going to murder things. All these raptors are going to murder. But you know what? If he ambushes them, they're not going to be able to score objectives until turn 3. And I think that maybe... this is the thing that I really like about having a combination of progressive scoring, and that this is where Steven's list is really not going to do that well. He sort of went all in on the ambush. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. These don't have ambush? Did I work on that? Oh, some of these don't have ambush. Oh. Did we not put ambush on these? Let me see. Oh, these Talon Raptors don't have ambush. Interesting. So he's just going to be dropping these in. It's an interesting one. And you know, I thought that this was an ambush spam, but actually it's not. They don't have ambush. So, that being the case... Boy, this is going to be a tough one. These are 2 very good lists. They're 2 very good lists. The Alien Hives are going to have Scout. The problem is Scout against Steven's list is not good. And the other thing is that Adrian doesn't have a lot of shooting. In fact, barely any shooting. He's got the Psycho Rex, which is a blast. I mean, that's not a lot. So I'm actually going to say this actually. Adrian's list has 0 shooting. And Steven's list has 0 shooting. All that scout that Adrian has isn't going to do him a lot of good if Walter's just going to be able to charge up 16 inches on turn 1. I think I may have to go with Steven on this one. Ooh. Steven's list is just nasty. Man. Ugh. This is a nasty list, guys. Steven Walter created a very nasty list. And I don't know. I'm going to have to go with Steven on this one. I think because the Strider and the Flying are all sort of countered. The Cultists with the sniper rifles, I don't think those sniper rifles are really going to matter. The Ravenous Beasts, he's got the reliable boy. I don't know. I go back and forth because the Ravenous Beasts are also fast and Strider. Man, this is going to be this is going to be a hard game to call. The one thing I will say with Steven is that Steven, with that on-demand +3 AP on the charge, that Hive Lord, he's going to have to be very careful. Adrian's got to be very careful with that Hive Lord because that Hive Lord can get one shot. Because that regeneration doesn't matter, and he's going to be saving on 5s, and those Talon Raptors are just going to eat him for lunch. Now, he will be able to eat a Talon Raptor. The problem is that, boy, the Assault Grunts and Souls... Oh, this game is going to hard to call. Oh, my goodness. This is a hard game to call here. I'm going to give this to Adrian because Adrian, he's equal to Steven on speed, but he gets the better positioning. All that scout is going to do him so well this game. He has got, am I counting them right, 8 scouting units. And that is really like, the thing is that maybe that extra positioning is really going to be able to do work. But then again, Steven has the hitting power. This is going to be a super close game. I'm going to call it to Adrian because I think the scout, maybe the scout will get him there. I think that if Adrian can just get those few points, and then I think in a head-to-head matchup, Steven's going to outkill Adrian. But I think that Adrian, if he plays the objective, he may win this. I'll give it to Adrian. This is Adrian here. That's what I'm calling. Scout is going to be Scout is super powerful in this. In this scenario, Scout is super powerful. Jesse Willardson and Craig Burton. So I go back to it. I love this Machine Cult list. I still think it can do well, and I think it's going up against an army that it's going to do very well against. The Machine Cult list is sort of an AP2 mid-range list, and it's going up against a lot of Def 4 and Def 5. That's perfect for what it's doing. There's 2 combat walkers and a support. I really like Craig's Machine Cult list, and I'm believing that this is just a very fast list. And the thing is, with a 20-inch move, it's going to be very difficult for him. He's going to have to move up some recruits. He's got some recruits with Hold the Line, but this is a list that can chew through. Some of these Sex Doctors can put out 20-something wounds. Furious, AP2, hitting on 3s, they can churn out, they can one-shot some of these lists. So, I'm going to give this to Craig Burton. I think his Machine Cult list is going to do well against Jesse's. All right. A hometown favorite, Daniel's Prime Brothers versus Stefano Paletti's. Boy, I still like this Dark Brothers. I still think this Dark Brothers is a super nasty list. I still think it's crazy good, and I think it's gonna. I love you, Daniel. You're. My heart wants you to win. My brain says that Stefano is gonna win this one. I just think that this Dark Brother Pathfinder is super good. I mean, it's what I would run. I mean, this is how I would run Dark Brothers. I would maybe do the little things different. Like I would rather run just Dark Brothers, but the thing is, he's got the scout. Oh, geez. This scenario, I don't see how anyone can win this scenario with Stefano's list because he has so much early control. He's going to drop down turn 1. He's going to kill and get those early, this scenario is all about getting the turn 2 victory points. So I'm going to give this to Stefano. I think Stefano's list is tailored. It's tailored. Now, the thing is that, yes, he can't score objectives on the first turn, but he can kill and he can contest. I don't know if he can contest, actually, but he can definitely kill whatever he needs to. So I would say at the very least, I think that Daniel's list is going to do better because those, like I said, one thing I love is that I think that this laser sniper squad, those guys are going to do work. If he can hit those mages, he's got to hit these Dark Destroyer masters. Thing is, these guys have shield wall. I mean, he really needs these eliminator. He needs to take out one of those mages early. Now, at the very least, this Infernal squad is going to do work. I mean, Flamers against Stefano's army, that is just a mass shooting. I mean, it's just bulk fire that's going to drop like 15 Flamer shots on someone. But I do still have to give this to... Oh, there's some AP4 in here, too. Yeah. Thinking here. I'm looking. Fusion rifles. I mean, I think Daniel isn't going to do bad. This is going to be a close game. But I think the scenario... I think in a straight-up battle, this will be super close. But I think this Stefano's army works so well. I think Stefano's army would beat anyone in this scenario because it's just so good towards it. All right, so I'm going for Stefano, but Daniel, my heart is going for you. So my brain says Stefano, but my heart says Daniel. Okay. Last one, Rio versus Taylor LeBlonde. So I've already spoke well. I like Taylor's list. I think it's a super solid list. I don't, I like this list. I think it's straightforward. This is against a HDF redesign. Now, what is going on here? Major Pain has got company standard is take aim. I love this. He's got a master telepath. He's got conscripts, and he's got he's got a lot of company standards. The field doctor. He's got some conscripts. So he's definitely running conscripts, which is really good against Taylor's list, who Taylor has a lot of AP4, but he is going to be spending a turn or two chewing through those conscripts. Taylor does not have any... He does have scout. He's got one scout, okay, but just one, right? So he's got a scout. These ravenous beasts, that's good. Rio has snipers. Is there anything worth sniping in these lists? I'm trying to see if there's anything worth sniping. Not really. There's nothing really worth sniping here. Taylor does have ambush, but ambush isn't going to do as well. Commissar, he's got an ogre squad. Okay, this is the double ogre squad again. I always get this one and the plain one confused. He's got APCs, which can do well. About the APCs actually in this scenario could do well. And again, he's got these two battle tanks. He's got double time on both of them. Now that's an interesting tech. This double time could actually do work. He needs to hit with this anti. The thing is that he does have the ability to take out that Hive Lord. But the Synapse Beasts, boy, this is actually going to be pretty tough. Taylor's list, the problem with Taylor's list is that all his high AP is pretty much all. Yeah, he's got two AP4s, but this isn't really what I'm talking about. This isn't consistent. All his really high AP is in hand to hand. And the thing is that Rio, to get to those tanks, they're going to have to kill some conscripts. And Taylor's list doesn't have a really good way of taking out conscripts, right? So he does have the AP4. This may actually go towards Rio here. Because the thing is, Taylor's list is good, but against these conscripts. Now, the one thing that he has is the morale debuff. He does have the flying, but that's not really going to matter because he's got bodies. He doesn't have a lot of scout. Taylor doesn't have a lot of scout. Ambush is not great in this scenario. You got to be storing those objectives early. So all this ambush isn't going to do him as well. Like he's got the winged grunts. He's got ambush, but ambush is actually not great in this scenario. That's why I like progressive scoring. It can sort of it means that ambush isn't as good in progressive scoring because you're basically only scoring by turn 3, and that's not going to do you very well. You're giving your opponent 2 free turns of scoring. Boy, this is a tough one. Flamers. Oh, Flamers on the APCs. I like it. He's going to be picking off the Flamers are good. Ogre squads can do well. What does he have on here? Field Doctor. He's got some regen. You know, the regen is actually going to come in pretty key because Taylor does not have a lot of rending in this army. It's all AP4. Yeah. I'm going to give this to Rio. I think that Taylor's list is super solid, but this is not... Taylor does not want to face a list like Rio's. He's got tons of conscripts, tons of just bodies, and just these 5 defense, all that AP4. And he's actually, you know, they've got an ambush of their own. They have a scout. Well, that's not going to say, you're not going to scout close. I think this is going to go to Rio. All right, well, there you go. So I have made my predictions, but take those predictions with a grain of salt because, as I've said, most of my predictions last time were wrong. So, good luck, everyone, on round 2. Thank you so much.